Good day, good day, good day, good day, and welcome to the Impact Investing Show with your host, Samuel Ikhinmwin, Ikhinmwin. Guys, let me know if you are ready to go. Today's show, we've got so much to share with you. It's episode 61. There's a lot to share. I got multiple news articles. I know there's going to be multiple questions throughout tonight's show. It's just one of those shows. So guys, if you are ready to go, let me know. If you are ready to go, let me know. Whoo! Guys, episode 61. I'm still equally amazed every single day. Just thinking to myself, how did we get here? We've just been pushing forward each and every episode. I got Rex in the chat who says, let's go. Guys, let me know. Come on. If you guys are really ready to go, let me know if you're ready to go. Let me put the chat on the screen. Let's see if you're ready to go. Guys, let me start by saying, if you have not hit that like button and you know you're going to get some content you're going to like today, hit that like button. Side by side with that, press subscribe, massage that bell notification so you can keep up to date every single time we drop a new video, every single time we're about to go live. So I got Rex in the chat who says let's go. Who else wants to go? Who else is ready to go? Let me know in the chat if you are ready to go. Now guys, first and foremost, I just want to welcome you all, every single one of you, whether you've been here before or you're brand new to the Impact Investing Show. This is the place where you will get creative property investing on demand. So by on demand, what that means is you ask, you receive. And this is the place where that happens. Creative property investing is equally and always on demand in the Impact Investing Show. So guys, I hope you are really ready to go. Now, on episode 61, some of you who are new might be asking to us, how did we even get here? What happened? How did we have 61 episodes of goodness, of joy, of insight, of power in order to be here today, in order to share with you guys? And I can break that down very simply. Well, up until last year, March, I was the host of one of the largest networking events for property investors in the UK. My event was in Canary Wharf, and every single month we would host that event and attract over 100 people on a month-to-month basis. Now, the interesting thing was in March last year, obviously, you know, the lockdown was announced, and in tandem with that lockdown announced, we had to stop live meetings in terms of our networking events. And as a result, that kind of, you know, left me in a position where I'd come from a place where 20-30 people would line up at the end of an event and wait to ask me questions about their property journey, to a place where I started getting text messages, direct messages, Instagram messages, Facebook messages, LinkedIn messages, you know, you name it, I was receiving it, of people saying, look, Samuel, I'm going through this in my property journey. What can I do? Samuel, I'm going through that in my property journey. What can I do? And so on and so on. And guys, look, from all of those messages that we were receiving, I said to my team, look, I want to help these people, but how can I help them? We can't have our live events. And my team said, Samuel, all you need to do is show up on a regular basis and allow yourself to help people to strategize through their storm. And thus the show in its first embryonic stage was born, and that was the Strategy and the Storm Show, where week in, week out, what we were doing is we were showing up on a Saturday and answering your property questions to help you move further faster in your property investing journey. Now, fast forward a whole bunch of episodes, and what we basically realized that we were actually doing every single episode, every single week, is we were giving you guys the blueprint on how to successfully invest in property. And when we realized that, what we realized is, hold on a minute, that's what the show should really be about. It should really be about how to invest in property, because that's what we're sharing with people. If you amalgamate, take all of the information we've been sharing every single episode, and you utilize that, you really harness in on the keys and the principles that we've been sharing with people, you basically have the formula to know how to invest in property. So because of that, we decided to just call the show How to Invest in Property, the Impact Investing Show. And guys, we've been going strong ever since. And now we're at episode 61. And guys, look, if you've got value from any episode prior to episode 61, what I'd like you to do is write in the chat one word, and that word is value. You know, that's kind of like my favorite word. But if you have received any kind of value in any way, shape, or form from any of the 61 episodes of the Impact Property Show, let me know by writing in the chat one word, and that simple word is value. Side by side with that, if you're brand new to this channel, if this is your first time on the channel or your first time live with us on the live stream, we really we're excited whenever we have people that are new on the live stream, because it's a different environment. You know, it's live. You guys are where you're at, we're where we're at, but we can still engage, we can still connect, we can still talk. And that's why it says right down there, don't forget to leave a comment and say hi in the chat, because you're live and you don't get another opportunity to be live than when you're live. So guys, if you are brand new to the channel or you're brand new to the show and this is your first time tuning in, I would love for you to write in the comments the word new, N-E-W, new. That just symbolizes to us that you are new to the show, and we can welcome you personally to the show. Now, whilst I'm awaiting people to let me know if they are new to the show or if they've been here before or if there's someone who's ready to go. Today's gonna be one, guys. You can see I got the energy. I came with a few other things other than energy. Let me know if you want me to let you know what else I brought to the show besides the energy today. Just write in the chat, let me know. Those 3 words, let me know. If you're interested in what else I brought to the show besides this energy today and besides the news and all the things we usually have in the show, just write the comment in the chat, let me know. So let me jump into the chat real quick and see what's happening, see how my peoples is doing. We got my man Yogesh Patel in the chat. Yogesh says, hi everyone. Yogesh, a great big hi to you. Great to have you on again. Yogesh is a regular viewer of the Impact Investing Show. So Yogesh, great to see you on again. We got Ose Ikhinmwin in the chat, who says, welcome to the forum. Thank you, Ose Ikhinmwin, for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you and your support, especially your comments on all of the videos that we drop. We really do appreciate it. It goes a long way. And guys, for those of you who don't know or don't understand, YouTube works a specific way. So if you engage with the YouTube content that you like, what happens is YouTube then sends that content to more people. Okay, so I'm gonna say that again. If you engage with the content you like, if you watch a video on YouTube and you actually like it, guys, this ain't just about our channel, this ain't just about our show, this ain't just about this particular live show, this is about any content you're engaging with in YouTube. If you want to support someone who's producing, developing, you know, passing out, putting out YouTube content, all you've got to do is press that like button. All you've got to do is hit subscribe. All you've got to do is share the video on a separate platform like Facebook, WhatsApp, etc. And you may not know it, but that goes massive leaps and bounds in terms of that content being shared, and side by side with that content being shared, YouTube deciding to share it as well. So guys, feel free to help your favorite content creators, your favorite producers, your favorite YouTube characters. Can I say characters? Yeah, because not everyone on YouTube is live like this. Not everyone on YouTube is real like this. But your favorite people on YouTube, feel free to help them out by hitting that subscribe button, pressing that like button, and sharing their content. So also, Ikhinmwin, again, welcome to the show. Great to have you on. We got Rex in the chat. Rex says, let's go. Rex, I think you missed last week. I think you said you was unable to stay with us last week, even though you did tune in at the beginning. Rex, great to have you on again. Again, Rex is someone who's been with us on a number of shows, so we appreciate you, Rex. And also your questions that you ask. It's always great to have people coming in with the questions, because that's where, for me, as an educator, well, I'm still an educator, but an ex-conventional educator, let me use that language, I found myself actually adding way more value to people. Even when I used to work in schools, when I used to teach teachers how to teach, one of the ways that I would get the massive amount of impact I would get in schools and in educational sectors I worked in is because I'd always lead with questions. I'd always say to the teachers, what are your biggest questions? Where are your biggest challenges? Let me help you with those. And as a direct byproduct, what you will find is if when you work with people on their questions, on their challenges, you meet them where they're at, you can help them come to where you're at or beyond. And that's my teaching philosophy. So for those of you who know me, you've probably already got your pens, you've probably already got your notepads, iPads, styluses, all of that stuff. Guys, I tell you every show, it's never gonna change. I tell you every single show, when you come on this show, come with your iPad, come with your notepad, come with your stylus, come with whatever it is you need, and take those notes. But like I said, my teaching philosophy is start with questions, meet people where they're at, and bring them all the way up to where you are or beyond. So again, Rex, great to have you on the show. Rex says value, which means that Rex has got value on one of the shows from episode 1 all the way to episode 61 before. Thank you, Rex. I believe that's the reason you keep coming back and keep on doing your thing. Please, let's go deeper into the chat before we jump into tonight's show at a whole nother level and a whole nother pace. We got Mandy. I believe Mandy was with us last week. Yes, Mandy says, hello everyone, it's my second time. Hi Mandy, great to have you on the stream again. I'm looking forward to you getting value in tonight's show. And again, Mandy, don't feel uncomfortable to throw in any questions you may have about your property journey in the chat right now. I got Ose Ikhinmwin who says value, which means again, Ose Ikhinmwin also has got value from one of the episodes from episode 1 to episode 61. And guys, if you're just joining us right now, just as a heads up, I asked the question, if you have received any value from the Impact Investing Show from episode 1 all the way till today, episode 61, feel free to write the word value in the chat. Let's go deeper into the chat. Mandy says, let me know, please. I'm going to come back to that. I got Deb in the chat who says new Deb, great to have you on the stream. It's a pleasure for you to join us. This is the Impact Investing Show, where you will get creative property investing on demand. And what that means in simple terms is, if you are trying to invest in property and you think you don't have enough money, you think you don't have enough knowledge, you think you don't have enough skills and resources, this is the place where you would learn how to make that happen without all of those things that you might think you don't have. So let's keep going. Deb, again, feel free to write any questions, comments in the chat. This place right here, this is our community forum. This is the place where we want value to be shared. We want people to connect, and we want your property journey to develop just as a byproduct of being in here. All right. So guys, you know what it is. And guys, can you greet Deb for us, please? It's Deb's first time on the show. And I believe for those of you who weren't with us last week, for you, it's your first time engaging with Mandy. Feel free to say welcome to Mandy in the stream. Also, now we got my man Ranjit in the chat. He says, good evening, ladies and gents. Ranjit Singh from Property Investors News. Guys, if you do not know who Property Investors News are or what Property Investors News is, you guys will know. Last week, I spoke about Property Investors News on the specific show. I shared with you guys basically one of the magazines and some of the insights that I get from this magazine. And look, I'll tell you again, the magazine giving analysis, news, and research on property investment. That is the slogan of the magazine. So what more do you want? Last week, we spoke about a few things, which I'm actually going to touch on in a moment. Thank you, Rex, who greets Deb. Now, I'm going to speak about a few of these things that we've been speaking about over the last couple of weeks. For those of you who are new, that's going to be a great way for you to get a kind of quick catch up with where we're actually at on the channel and some of the things we've been sharing. But for those of you who've been here before, that's going to remind you guys, if you've missed any episodes, what you need to go back and potentially grab hold of so you can get massive value. Rex tells me in the chat, good memory. You're welcome, Rex. I've been told that since I was a child. My dad told me, you're a real academic one, so you got to push with that. That's probably the reason I've studied 4 degrees, and I'm probably still intending to do some more. But yes, I have a very good memory. Some people say I've got a photographic memory, but one thing to let you guys know, just to be honest, my wife's memory is actually sharper than mine. And it's crazy because I had never met someone with a sharper memory than me until I met my wife. But it's fantastic. It's fantastic having people around you who can compliment and add to you, etc. So Rex, thank you for your compliment and your comment. I got Victoria in the chat. Victoria says value. Thank you, Victoria. We appreciate you. Always great to have you on board and around. We got Ranjit who says, Samuel, you are always adding value. I appreciate that, Ranjit. I believe that. I received that, and I want to continue to achieve that. But let's keep going. Rex says, hi, Deb. I got Rose in the chat. Rose, welcome to the stream. I love that. Rose is saying hi, Deb, before she's even commenting anything else. Rose, welcome to the stream. Great to have you on. Rose, I asked the question a moment ago, and that question was, if you have ever got any value from one of these shows, from episode 1 to episode 61, could you write the word value in the chat? Rose, let us know. Have you ever got value from the show? Now, here we go. Okay, cool. So Mandy's got her first question in. I love this. Mandy's just jumping in. Should we take this question now, or should I take this question in a moment? Because I know you guys have already asked me to share something with you. All right. So I think I'm gonna have to share the thing, and then I don't know. You guys let me know. Okay. Let me say, if I should take the question now, let me see the word now, or if I should show you what I brought to the show. Let me see the word show. So you got the option now or the word show. Okay. Now I'm going to do both. Hopefully I'm going to do both because you guys have asked, but let me get the word now if you guys would like me to answer Mandy's question now, or let me get the word show if you guys would like me to show you the thing, the little goodie that I brought to the show, or the goodies. I should say goodies because I got more than one right now. All right. But yeah, Mandy, we'll find out. You guys will tell me. Okay, Mandy goes, okay, show. Rose says show. I love this. I love this. This is why, guys, live is so different to anything else we can do. This is why I opted, when the team said show up regularly, I opted, look, let's do a live show. Let's make it live. Let's let people engage with us, because I love people, guys. I love people in a whole nother way. And anyone who's ever connected with me, Ranjit, he will know, like, guys, I love people and I love adding value to people. And one of the great ways is to actually engage with them. If you can't engage with them, you know, I can sit in an incubator and create videos all day long, which we do. Some of you will know we actually do. Dropped another video on Tuesday this week. So we actually do that. However, I feel that you guys will get way more value when we're actually live. So this is why we do it like this. All right, so I got the comments coming in thick and fast. Show. Everybody wants me to show it, so we will show the little goodies I brought to the show. And if you guys are interested, what I might actually do is treat you to some strategy on this show, guys. I think I'm doing too much today. I don't know. We got a whole show to do, but I'm still giving that value. All right, so I got Rose in the chat who says value. I got Mandy in the chat who says you're really a typical educator. They always give value. Powerful. I love that. I got Ikhinmwin in the chat who says great. Deb. Hello, Mandy. I got Rose who says show. I got Mandy who says okay, show. I got Victoria who says show. I got Deb who says show. And I got my man Oluyinka, who I haven't seen in a while, who says show. Oluyinka, welcome to the show. Great to have you on the show as well. All right, guys. Well, look, with all of you guys telling me show, it's about that time that I'm going to show you the goodies that I brought to the show today. Okay, I brought 2 things to the show today, which I might actually use on the show, just to give you guys an indication. And basically the way this happened is I posted on Facebook. If anyone follows me on Facebook, anyone who's connected with me on Facebook, just put the letters FB in the chat. FB. If you follow me on Facebook, Samuel Ikhinmwin or Samuel Ikhinmwin. If you follow me on Facebook, let me know in the chat by just writing the letters FB. But long story short, I posted on Facebook just a little while ago, about 15 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, that any property problem can be solved just like a Rubik's Cube. Okay, and as a result, I got FB from Rose. As a result, I got 2 of these Rubik's Cubes with me right now. So these are the goodies I've brought with me on today's show. Now, like I said a bit earlier, Victoria says FB, she follows me on Facebook as well. Rose, FB, follow me on Facebook. Like I said earlier, if you guys are interested, I might show you guys some strategy. But the slogan, the statement I put inside of my Facebook post about 20 minutes ago was any property problem can be solved just like a Rubik's Cube. If you do not believe me, join me on the show at 7 p.m. this evening. So guys, if you are interested, it doesn't take me an hour to do this, but if you guys are interested, well, it might take me an hour, I don't know, but if you guys are interested, let me know and I might show you some strategy, and I might actually solve one of these on today's show. I might solve both. It depends on what you guys want, because we're live and this is the joy of being live. I can work with you guys. Do you guys like it when Samuel Ikhinmwin works with you? Let me know. But guys, like I said, look, this is what this show's all about. This is why we come live. This is why we engage the way we engage, because we want to add value, and the best way to add value is to engage and connect with people. Now, with all that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick recap on a few of the things that we have actually been covering over the last few episodes. Like I mentioned, today's episode 61, but there was an episode 60, there was an episode 59, there was an episode 58, and so on all the way to episode 1. Now, I'm not going to go that far back because that's a long way to actually regurgitate. But what I am going to do is I'm going to share with you guys some of the powerful episodes we've had in the last month, okay? So we've covered over the last few weeks back why I choose property. Okay, so that was a very deep live stream where I shared with you guys not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 reasons that I choose property as my primary vehicle to invest, build, and retain wealth. Okay, I shared with you guys not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 reasons. If you have not seen that live stream, that would be a live stream you want to go back and watch. And the way you can do that is obviously hitting subscribe, hitting like, hitting all of that stuff. Go into the channel. When you go to our channel, just search, press the tab which says videos, and then just look down. You'll see the live streams right there. Now, that was one of our very insightful live streams. Okay, and I want to share that with you because I want you guys as a community, if you're people that are working with me, you're connecting with me, you're on the live streams, you're getting value from these live streams, it only makes sense that the content we've shared, you guys engage with. So in your property journey, they're not things you're struggling with. I wouldn't want to be in a position, I'll share something with you guys in a minute, which is going to be actually quite interesting, but I wouldn't want to be in a position where I share all of this content week in, week out. Someone's coming, like Yogesh, for example, someone's coming on a regular basis to lots of these episodes, misses one episode, and then they go out into the real big bad property world and go and do a property transaction and find themselves not knowing something that we've shared already on the channel. So that was one of the powerful episodes we had recently. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 reasons why I choose property as my primary vehicle to create, retain, and also to develop my financial wealth. The next episode that we did recently, which was really, really powerful, is reasons you don't invest in property. Now, those of you who've ever been coached by me, which I know there's a few of our live viewers who have been my coaching clients over the years, or who are currently my coaching clients, those who have ever been coached by me know that I'm very big on working on people's mindset. And any coaching program that I run, I usually start with mindset work, because I know it's the key to uncovering stuff before we go further. So the reason I bring that up is because that specific episode, that specific live stream where I spoke about reasons you don't invest in property, was one of those where I was trying to get into your head. I was trying to help you guys in that live stream understand the things in your mind that stop you from actually pushing forward. So if there's anyone who's actually who was actually on that live stream and got value from that live stream, feel free to write the word value in the chat so other people in the chat will know, okay, that was actually a valuable stream. I should go back and watch that. Now, side by side with those, another episode that we had, one of the live streams that we did recently, was about crypto and property. We spoke about cryptocurrency and property. Now, I know that struck a chord with a number of our live viewers. How do I know that? Well, the reason I know that is because I had so many of our community, I had so many people reaching out to me, specifically on WhatsApp. So people that are in the same WhatsApp groups as me, I had so many people reaching out to me saying to me, look, Samuel, I've got crypto money. How do I invest in property? Samuel, I got this. How do I move forward with property? Now, that shocked me. I'm going to be very transparent with you guys. That actually shocked me. I know that I've been investing in cryptocurrency since 2017, but I didn't know that so many people that view our content, so many people that watch me, so many people that speak with me live are people that actually invest in property as well. That was actually a surprise for me, and I'm going to be very transparent about that. And because it was such a surprise, the next episode, I can't remember what we were covering the next episode, but we ended up talking a little bit about Dogecoin and cryptocurrency again, not just because it's a hot topic in the news, but actually because the viewers were actually interested in it. So again, guys, let us know what your actual property connections and property interests are, and we can help you guys by working on them together. Okay. So we got Deb who says, hi, Mandy. Thank you, Deb, for being so hospitable in the chat. All right. So with that being said, I'll share with you guys one more previous episode or recent episode we did, which I think may be of value to some of you guys who are rocking with us. One of the episodes we did recently was called 4 Ways to Improve Your Property Investment Journey. I believe that was last week, episode 60, 4 Ways to Improve Your Property Investment Journey. So again, I'm just giving you guys a little bit of a heads up, because what happens a lot of the time is people tune in, especially like people like Mandy, people like Deb, who they might be new. They might get a lot of value from this show, but they might not realize that we got 60 episodes back. And guys, listen, the amount of value we share on these shows, I'm not saying go and watch all 60 episodes, but what I'm saying is when you've got time, engage with the content, learn like the things, because I don't want you to be a novice in the property field, because that's how people end up buying lemons, as they say. I want you to be someone who's a valued investor, someone who knows how to look at properties appropriately, someone who knows how to buy properly, someone who knows how to make money from doing things the right way. Now, with all of those things being said, with all of those things being shared, okay, what I want you guys to do, if you haven't done this already, okay, it's a shameless plug, but I'm going to say it. If you haven't done it already, what I want you to do is hit that like button, press subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. We do have a subscription goal. We want to hit 3,000 subscribers. Okay, we're currently, we actually topped the 400 mark. And guys, listen, a big shout out to the Impact Properties team. Every single person in our team has been doing some great work recently. Just in terms of the delivery of work and tasks and getting things done. We dropped a video on Tuesday. That video pushed us through 400 subscribers because the video was just very, very powerful. It was a powerful video, very insightful. Quite a few people shared that video. And as a result of that video being shared with quite a few people, a lot of people, I think, started to see things in terms of estate agents from a slightly different angle. And because of that, I think it was just value packed. So people started hitting that subscribe button. So we had quite a few subscribers join our journey as a result of Tuesday's video. So our hope is that we can do more of that for you guys as a community, give you guys the keys so you guys can become even more successful in your property investing journey. Now, there's just so much to uncover. I just feel ready. I feel ready for tonight's show. All right, cool. So like I said, if you haven't hit that like button, press subscribe, and guys, comment. If you're live with us, let us know you're live with us. just say hi in the chat. That's enough. If you haven't said hi already, feel free to say hi. If you're watching this on a replay, what we would love for you to do is let us know. Give us your feedback in the replay. What do you take out of this show? What value have you got from this show? What stood out to you and what's been helpful for you? Now, with all of that being said, I'm jumping into our show disclaimer, and you know what that means. That means we are going to open up the value box right now. So here goes the disclaimer. All information provided and results given are exemplary. Each person's results may vary or differ. Results are based on consistent, yes, I said it, consistent implementation of the strategies we're talking about. And we advise that you, yes, you always seek legal and financial advice from a qualified professional. And if you have any trouble finding a qualified professional, let us know. You can do that by jumping into the description of this video, and you will see our email address right there, info@impactproperties.co.uk. I'll say it one more time. That's info@impactproperties.co.uk. And for my people who are all the way at the back, you know I've always got you. Even if you're at the back, it's info@impactproperties.co.uk. All right, now with all of that being said, with all the information being shared, all of the red tape out of the way, today's show, are you ready to go? Guys, let me start by sharing some massive appreciation to every single person. If you've hit like before, hit subscribe before, written a comment before, I appreciate you. You're helping us towards our YouTube sub goal. But let's get into tonight's show. Tonight's show, the Impact Show, we're going to be speaking about 3 keys to buying property. Are you ready for that? 3 keys. We got news, like usual. We got news articles. I got a couple news articles up my sleeve. I got a couple Rubik's cubes up my sleeve. But tonight's show, the real main content, we're going to be speaking about 3 keys to buying property. Okay, 3 keys to buying property. Now, Rex has already told me, let's go. If you are ready to go and you're not Rex, even if you are Rex, you can tell us again. Let me know if you're ready to go. We're going to be jumping into 3 keys to buying property. Let's go. Let's go. Let me know if you're ready to go. All right. Now, whilst you guys are getting ready to tell me if you're ready to go, obviously you might not be ready to go. And if you're not ready to go, that's okay, because I'll just jump into something else. I might solve the Rubik's Cube, for example. Okay. But whilst you guys are letting me know if you are actually ready to go, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you guys our first news article for tonight's show, which is actually going to be quite relevant, quite insightful, and quite necessary in order for you guys to really understand what's actually taking place in the market. Now, if you're someone who's a first-time property buyer, this is going to be right up your alley, right up your street. This is the kind of information that you really need to be kind of aware of in order for you to take full advantage of the property market and what is going on. If you're someone who's not first-time buyer, again, there may still be ways for you to tap into the things that we actually have right here. So without further ado, let me open up the news, and then you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. And look at that, the chat is already popping off. I've got Victoria in the chat. She says show. Okay, I think they're the older comments, but I think you guys have already put some comments in as well. I've got the notification to say some comments are coming in. But let's jump into the news and we'll come back to those comments, and then let's go in a moment. So here it goes. First time buyers, how to get the best deal on a 90% or 95% mortgage. Okay, guys. So this came out. This is a recent article from Which. Okay, we're going to go into this in a moment, but I want to give you guys some insights. I want you guys to get some feel of what's actually taking place in the market and how that can potentially benefit you. So let's just jump in. It goes, rates on low deposit deals drop after launch of guarantee scheme. This was published on the 2nd of June, which is just 10 days ago, by Stephen Maunder on the Which website. So here it goes. It goes, first time buyers with small deposits may now find it easier to get a mortgage, with 90% and 95% deals more readily available. It goes on to say the government's new mortgage guarantee scheme has resulted in dozens of new low deposit. Okay, I want you to listen to this, because if you're a first time buyer, this is essential for you. Okay, for new low deposit deals being launched, and rates have begun to fall. I want you to think about this, guys. Okay, low deposit with low rates. Okay, and we're going to come on to speaking about rates in a little while as I share with you guys the 3 keys to buying property. But I want you to understand that low deposits and low rates. Okay, so that is like a recipe if you know what you're doing. Let me add that, because that's a big caveat that a lot of people may not know. That is a recipe if you know what you're doing to really succeed in the property market. Now, it goes on to say the government's new mortgage guarantee scheme has resulted in dozens of new low deposit deals being launched, and rates have begun 24. It says here, which reveals the best rates available to first-time buyers and gives advice on buying your first home in 2021. Now, I want to say this, guys. This is which. This is the advice from the website Which. Let me say it that way so I don't get tongue twisted. This is advice from the website Which, okay? They've said here in their article, okay, they're going to give advice, okay? I'm not giving advice. I give you guys my view. I give you guys my opinion. I do not give financial advice. I want you to understand that. But these guys are giving you advice. And this is why we read our disclaimer so people know that I'm giving you what I would do. I'm sharing with you my opinion rather than anything else. But let's keep going. It says low deposit mortgage deals return, okay? 9 in 10, 90% and 95% mortgages were withdrawn from the market in the wake of the COVID-19 outbreak last spring. It goes on to say a year on, things are looking much better for first-time buyers with small deposits. So again, guys, I said it earlier on when I was speaking to Deb, this is the channel where if you feel like you don't have money, if you feel like you don't even have deposit funds, we're going to show you, we're going to bring the news to you. We're going to expose you to things that you can do in order to take advantage of the marketplace, okay? Because property is not something that should be exclusive. You know, I've been a strong believer of that since I was very young, okay? At 11 years old, I watched my mum lose her job and become redundant. And when she was made redundant after working for 15 years for a central bank in London, I watched my mum struggle to sell her house. And that was when I had my first kind of, light bulb moments about how property should not be difficult. It should not be exclusive for a few. Okay. Property is something that should be open to all. Okay. And the only way it can be open to all is if we are the people who jump in and not only jump in, but we learn the skills, we learn the strategies, we learn the creativity, which is kind of really my big thing. And then we come and bring it back to the community. We come and share with other people. Guys, this is possible. You can do it like this. Okay. So guys, this is why I've got this passion. This is why I've always been like this. This is why I left, my full-time employment in education, making roughly 50K a year, and decided to go full-time in supporting and helping people through my education ministry and property endeavors. So guys, I want you to be awake to this factor. You can invest in property. Okay, I want you to say that to yourself right now, especially if you're someone who's a first-time buyer, if you're someone who's never really been thinking that property can work for you. We had a powerful comment from Nicola from FP Comms, which is a PR organization, PR company that help people with their public relations. We had a comment from Nicola, I think 2 or 3 episodes ago, and it really is still sticking with me. It touched me as a heartfelt comment. She basically said, and this is the same Nicola who weeks back, maybe about 6-7 weeks back, she said, Samuel, I'm not interested in property. I watch your show and I get insights, but I'm not really interested in it. If I'm ever going to do anything in property, I'll just come to you, Samuel. And I remember her saying that to me about 6-7 weeks back. But about 2 weeks ago on the show, she said something so impactful. She sent a comment in, and obviously many of you guys who are here with us now would have seen that comment because you would have been on the show. But she said on the show, she said, Samuel, the insights you are sharing here week in, week out have actually made me feel as though I can actually go into this. I've got the confidence now. And guys, this is why I do this. Let me share this with you guys. If I can share, just write the word share in the chat, please, guys. If I can really share with you, because guys, some of you who know me know that I love to give you guys stuff from the heart. I don't just like talking from my head. So if I can share some stuff from the heart, just write the word share. If I get 5 shares, if I get the word share 5 times in the chat, guys, I will share something with you quite open-heartedly for you guys to understand exactly why this means so much to me. Okay, but guys, property doesn't need to be for an elite few. Okay, property is supposed to be for you. Property is supposed to be for I. So if you are someone who's new to property, it's your first time trying to get into property, it's your first time trying to invest, what I want you to do is just say where you are, I can do this. Okay, that's what I want you to do. Say, I can do this. 4 words, that's it. I can do this. Okay, now listen, right now as I'm telling you to say this, you might not believe me. You might be saying, you know what, Samuel, I can't do this property thing. Look, I'm not talking about the property thing. Just say the statement, I can do this. You might be thinking, I can make dinner. Talk about, I can pick up a pen. It doesn't matter what your thing is. I can make a cup of tea. Just say out of your mouth right now, I can do this. And that's what I want you to do. Because when it comes to property, like I spoke about on my Facebook post with the Rubik's Cube, these things can be solved. These things can be solved. Your predicament in property can be solved. You might have little money. We're reading an article right now about how you can still get invested. These things can be solved. I'll say it again, guys. These things can be solved. Don't allow anyone to deceive you. these things can be solved. Your property qualms can be solved. Your property problems can be solved. If you've got 10 properties, if you've got 20 properties, if you've got 30 properties, these things can be solved. You can still move further, faster. Let me share something with you guys, okay? I'm seeing the shares come in, okay? Oh, I love that. Mandy's actually put it in the chat. I can do this. I love that. Mandy, Mandy, you're going to find yourself right at home on this channel. I can tell you that right now. That is the energy that we live off in this channel. So Mandy, I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing that. But Yogesh has said share. Mandy has said share. Rose has said share. Guys, I need 2 more shares from 2 people who haven't written share yet, and I will share with you some heartfelt stuff about why I'm so pumped about what I do and how I do what I do in this property space. But guys, look, the thing I want you to understand is you can do this, okay? And this is something you should tell yourself. Maybe wake up every morning and say, I can do this. This property thing, I can do this. This property thing, I got this. You know what? I can do this. Guys, I'm telling you, you can do this. Okay, and there's going to be people who are going to come and act like you can't do this. People who are going to come and act like this isn't for you. People who are going to come and act like, you know what, this is for certain people and you can think about doing this, but you can't actually do this. Let me tell you that those people are wrong. They got the wrong one, honey. They didn't know they were talking to you, because you can do this. I can do this. We can do this. And I want you to remember that. All right. I got also Ikhinmwin in the chat who says share and we can do this. And I got my man Olayinka in the chat who shows up and also says share. I think that's our 5th share. So it means I'm going to have to get a bit heartfelt on this one. We might have to change the camera. I need to get you guys closer a little bit so you guys can see exactly what we're working with as I break this down. But let's go into it. Let's go into it. All right. Let me just share it with you guys because I want you guys to understand this. All right. So, let me just jump into it. So I shared with you guys a moment ago. Nicola from FP Comms basically breaks down, look, Samuel, you know, you've got me encouraged, you got me inspired. I feel like I can do this now. Okay. And this is what I want you guys to understand, why I'm so adamant, why I'm so passionate, why I'm so invested in getting you guys over the line from I think I might be interested in property to I got this, I can do this, I just got my first house. Some of you would have been with me on episode 59. I think it was episode 59 where professional athlete, basketball player Orlan Jackman sent me the picture on WhatsApp just before we went live and basically said, Samuel, thank you for everything you've shared with me. You know, I've been able to buy a property. You know, he sent the picture of him, his partner, his baby, and the sign, the sold sign behind them. And that was encouraging. That's inspiring. I get messages like that all the time. I've been getting messages like that for years, okay? Probably since around 2015. People who I've coached, worked with, supported, given advice to, helped in any way, shape, or form, just reaching out and saying, Samuel, you know, you helped me to understand I can do this. But let me tell you where this comes from. Yes, it comes from, like, if I go deep, I'm going to be talking about my mom. I'm going to be talking about my dad. I'm going to be talking about all those things. But I don't want to go that deep. I just want to give you the real nugget of jewel for you guys to understand, since I've been able to comprehend it, where this stuff really comes from. Now, most of you know I used to work in education. I used to be a lead practitioner, okay? I used to teach A-level and secondary school maths, and I also used to teach teachers how to teach. That was my career, okay? So after studying 3 degrees, I went into education, worked as a teacher. Whilst working as a teacher, I did my 4th degree, my master's in teaching. Whilst doing my 4th degree, my master's in teaching, I was working with these young people, teaching these A-level students maths, teaching them statistics. Statistics is my major, so I was teaching them statistics. This is why I'm really into numbers and stuff like that. And as I was teaching these secondary school students maths, as I was teaching these A-level students maths, as I was teaching these teachers how to teach, I started to realize something. I started to realize that I taught now, but at that time, I teach the most notorious subject in the world. Okay, especially if you are living in the UK, if you're based in the UK or you live in the UK. Now let me tell you something. If you come from the West Indies, if you come from the Caribbean, if you come from Africa, maths isn't vilified the way maths is vilified in the UK. Maybe because in the UK there's, you know, so much freedom, there's so much freeness, there's so much free 99 going on, there's so much you can just live off job seekers allowance and this and that. Maybe because there's so much things that are easily obtainable and accessible in the UK, maybe that's the reason why it feels as though maths is vilified. Because maybe in the UK people feel like I don't need maths and it's hard. Okay, So I want you to understand, one of the biggest things for me when I worked as a teacher, teaching A-level maths, teaching secondary maths, teaching teachers how to teach, one of the biggest things for me was not actually about technical skill. Okay, and if you've been someone who struggled with maths in the past, you're going to understand exactly what I'm talking about. You see, one of the biggest things for me was never ever about technical skill. I've got students who now are 23, 24, students who are now maybe even 30 years old, who now look back and say, you know what, Mr. Ikhinmwin, you helped me, you changed my life. And what they don't realize is the reason I had such a powerful impact is not because I taught them maths. It's because I taught them what I'm trying to teach you guys, what I always try to teach, whatever, the only thing I'm interested in, and that's the mentality that I can do this. That's why I'm Samuel I Can Win, because I'm here to show you that you can win. And I want you to understand that for me, that's the heartfelt part to this. The heartfelt part to this is not seeing Nicola say, oh, Samuel, you've got me interested in property, but it's understanding that confidence has been built in something that is not exclusive to you, something that is not too hard for you, something that you can achieve as well, even if people have told you you can't, even if your circumstance tells you you can't, even if yourself is telling you you can't. All right. And that's really the share I wanted to give you guys from a heartfelt perspective. I want you guys to understand that my heart is in this. My heart is in helping people move further, faster as it pertains to their property investing journey because of my background, because of where I come from, because I come from a place where what I needed to do with those young people, what I needed to do with those A-level math students, those secondary math students, those teachers, in order to help them teach better, is I needed to first instill confidence in them. I needed them to understand I can do this. And the moment they understood I can do this, 9 times out of 10, guys, I'll tell you the secret. The technical knowledge is easy to understand. The technical knowledge becomes easy to understand when they believe I can do this. Let me even give you another example. My wife, okay? Recently, I bought a Rubik's Cube. And I bought it predominantly for our children because of a friend of mine who had one in his house when we went there. And I remember speaking to my wife and saying, you know, you should do a Rubik's Cube. And guys, listen, I've never solved a Rubik's Cube prior to that point. Okay. This was about a week ago. And I say to my wife, look, you should do the Rubik's Cube. And she said, you know what? I've always had issues with that. I've always thought you have to be super intelligent to do that. I've always thought that it's going to be too hard for me, etc., etc. She said a few lines like that. And I said to her, you know what? I said, you're one of the most intelligent people I know. I think you should do it. You're one of the most intelligent people I know. I think you can do it. Do you think you can do it? Then she said, I'll give it a go. And you know the funniest thing, my wife ended up solving her first Rubik's Cube before I solved the Rubik's Cube. Okay. Now, why is this powerful? It's powerful because I'm sharing with you guys the same thing that I'm talking to you about as it pertains to the math students I had. These young people, these A-level students, these secondary students, these teachers, these adult teachers who were trying to teach and trying to be better at their craft. It's the same thing. You start by helping people understand, I can do this. It's all about the mindset. The moment you know you can do it, the next thing is the technical knowledge. What do I actually need to know to make this happen? So guys, hopefully you got value from that. If you got value from that, let me see the word value in the chat. If you got value from that, let me see the word value in the chat as we go deeper into this news article and then even deeper into tonight's show. So it says here, a year on, things are looking much better for first-time buyers and with small deposits. It goes, the vast majority of major lenders have brought back their 90% mortgages, and the 95% mortgage guarantee scheme launched in April has resulted in a flurry of deals coming back to the market. It says the graph below shows how the number of low deposit deals has risen over the last 6 months. I've got Rose in the chat who says value. Thank you, Rose. Now, if you guys look at the chart, you can see the number of property deals, okay, with 90% mortgages. In December 2020, it says roughly they're hitting at 88. Here in January 2021, 90% mortgages, you can see the chart here, it's saying it's 124. Now, comparatively, 95% mortgages was at 11 in December of 2020. And you can see straight after that, that has basically sunk to 4 in January of 2021. Now, this is June. This is where we're at right now. It states that 95% mortgages, 132 were being pushed through at that point in comparison to 289, 90% mortgages. Guys, I hope you understand what this means. This means if you do not have much money, if you do not have much resources and you're a first-time buyer, the market is still wide open to you. Now, let me even add this. Don't you have friends and family? Because I know a lot of the people who view our show are people with 8, 9, 10 properties. You know, even last week's show, I had someone reach out to me after the show and say, Samuel, when you were talking about that person with 8 properties, it felt like you were talking to me. I've got that many properties, and let me tell you, Samuel, you're really helping me. You're changing my life, helping me see things differently. You know, I need to invest in my coach, etc. Because last week we spoke about 4 ways that you can improve your property investing journey, and that was one of the things I broke down. Okay, one of the key nuggets. I think that was actually the 5th thing, the extra value. You know, go get yourself a coach, go get yourself a mentor, get yourself some support, and push to the next level. But guys, that's how it works. So you can see here, 90% mortgages are up 289. 95% mortgages are up 132. And the point I'm making is, even if you're like me, even if you've bought property before, you can still connect with someone who's never bought a property before, and maybe invest in their journey. Maybe say to them, listen, there are 95% mortgages, daughter. There are 95% mortgages, niece. There are 95% mortgages, nephew. There are 95% mortgages, son. There are 95% mortgages, sister. There are 95% mortgages, brother. There are 95% mortgages, husband. There are 95% mortgages, wife. Go get yourself a property, okay? And I'll even pay the 5% so that you can give me X, Y, Z in the future back from it, or you can give me a 30% stake in that property, etc., etc. Guys, I can go deeper into strategy that we can use in order for people to move further, faster in their property journey. But guys, I want you to understand, when there is an opportunity in the marketplace, you should take it, especially if it works for you. Now, the source of these facts is Money Facts on June. As per June 2021, fixed rate mortgages available to first time buyers only. It goes on to say, I'll read it one more paragraph in this article before we jump out. I know we've got a lot more to still share on tonight's show. It says, what is the mortgage guarantee scheme? It says, as you can see above, lenders have been slowly bringing back 90% deals since the end of 2020, but until recently there was no sign of 95% mortgages returning, meaning first-time buyers would need a deposit of at least 10% to buy a home. With this in mind, the government launched a new mortgage guarantee scheme in April. The scheme involves the government encouraging lenders to offer 95% mortgages. And 95, guys, some people may not actually know this, I just realized. Let me break this down. A 95% mortgage means you only need 5% of the value of the house. So if you're buying a house for £100,000, okay, let's say it's in Manchester, let's say it's in Birmingham in the Midlands, you only need £5,000 as a deposit to buy that house. Now, yes, you need additional fees, like I speak about in some of my other videos, which you might need to go and watch. But yes, there are additional fees, okay, that may be around, but those fees are not going to really top the same £5,000. So with £10,000, you can probably buy £100,000 worth of property. Okay, I want you to bear that in mind, the power of that. That's a 10 times, a 10x leverage right there of your fund. So that means if you've got roughly £30,000, okay, just assume 15,000 is going to be a deposit, a 5% deposit. You could potentially, if your employment income matches up the way it needs to, again, speak to a professional, speak to a broker. What that basically means is you could potentially buy £300,000 worth of property, okay, with just £15,000 as a deposit and an additional £15,000 in terms of fees, etc., stamp duty. Now, if the stamp duty holiday is gone and you've missed it, then yes, maybe that'll be the figures. But if you can still get in for the stamp duty holiday before the end of this month, then now you're not even needing an additional 15k. You might need an additional 5k. So if £20,000, you could potentially buy and control £300 worth of property. Guys, if that's not a no-brainer, I don't know what is. Let's keep going. Meaning first-time buyers would need a deposit of at least 10% to buy a home. It goes on to say, with this in mind, the government launched a new mortgage guarantee scheme in April. The scheme involves the government encouraging lenders to offer 95% mortgages by taking on some of the financial risks involved. For example, if a buyer defaults on their loan. It goes on to say the guarantee has been successful so far, with 132 fixed rate 95% deals now available, compared to just 5 at the start of March. I hope you guys are hearing this. It says, as a buyer, it makes no difference whether the 95% deal you choose is part of the scheme or sits outside of it. So when comparing deals, make sure you focus on all the available options, whether they're part of the scheme or not, excuse me. So it says here, find out more, 95% mortgage guarantee scheme. You can click that link. We're not going to click that link. We're going to read this last paragraph, and then we're going to be out to share some more value with you guys. And I believe you guys are getting value from the comments I'm seeing in the chat. It says best rates on 90% and 95% mortgages. It says the mortgage guarantee scheme has certainly made a difference to the number of options available to first-time buyers. Rates on 95% mortgages are dropping as lenders compete for business, but remain significantly significantly higher than those on 90% deals. So what that means is if you are putting more money in up front, if you're going in for a 10% deposit, you're going to get better rates than if you're going for a 95% mortgage and thus a 5% deposit. And that's just something to think about, but that makes sense. That's the same as if I put 50% of the cash down to buy a house, I'm going to get a better rate on the 50% mortgage that I'm going for than someone who puts 10% down and goes for a 90% mortgage. It goes on to say the tables below show the cheapest initial rates currently available for first-time buyers with 10% and 5% deposits respectively. Okay, now it goes on. You can see the table real quickly rather than me jumping in deeper. It says lowest rates on 90% 2-year fixed rate deals. HSBC initial rate 2.88%. The reverted rate after the 2 years is 3.59%, which I think are still good rates. And the fee in order for them to do that for you is £1,000, £995. Halifax, again, similar, 2.89%, 3.54% is the reverted rate, and then £999 to get that done. And then side by side with that, NatWest 2.93%, which is the highest out of these three, with a reverted rate of 3.59%, which is the same as HSBC. And then lastly, the fee, I'm rhyming, you know, is £995 to get that done. Now, look, let me say this, guys, because I want to be very clear on this. I do not recommend anybody goes directly to a lender such as HSBC, Halifax, or NatWest in order to get a mortgage. Okay, I've never advocated direct requests of mortgages, and if you're someone who's new to the show, you might be surprised about that, but guys, that's just the way it is. I would always recommend you speak to a qualified whole of market independent broker. If you have never heard that before, write that down, because that's some key notes you need to make. I would always recommend you speak to a whole of market. That's the first thing, whole of market. Second, independent, okay, mortgage broker. Now, the reason I always advise people to go speak to a whole of market independent mortgage broker is because when you do what most human beings do in the country and you walk into HSBC because you've been banking with them for the last 56 years and you ask HSBC for a mortgage on a property you're going to buy or a property you already own, HSBC are not whole of market. They are not going to look at every single mortgage product out there and every single interest rate out there and every single opportunity out there for you to get a mortgage. They're going to look at the suite of HSBC products only. And by virtue of that, again, here's the statistician in me coming out, they are biased. And because they are biased, they're going to shot you one of their products. They can only sell you a product that they actually have. And that's what they're going to do. They're not going to tell you, listen, this is actually best for you, Deb. This is what you really should be looking at, even though we don't offer it. Halifax is not going to tell you, listen, I got to tell you this, Mandy, this is best for you. Even though we don't offer it, you need to go down to that place over there. They're not going to say inside of NatWest, hey, Rose, you shouldn't be here because we don't have the best products for you. The best products for you are actually going to be with this person. So every single person who's tuned into this stream, I want you to understand, I always advocate you go and see an independent, fully independent, whole of market mortgage broker if you are looking at getting a mortgage, any kind of mortgage, okay? And if you want help, if you want advice, if you want direction in terms of where you can find a broker that's going to be good for you, reach out to us. Links are in the description. Send us an email, info@impactproperties.co.uk, and we will connect you with a broker who we would recommend, someone that we would potentially use ourselves or have used ourselves in certain cases. Now, it goes on to say lowest rates on a 5-year fixed rate mortgage deal. Again, HSBC 3.26%, Clydesdale Bank 3.28%. Excuse me, guys. Cumberland 3.29%, reverted rates 3.54, 4.55 and 4.09 respectively. Fees on these $1,499, $1,999, $1,999. And guys, let me say this as well, just so you guys have clarity on this. You see, you're probably going to pay a mortgage broker similar fees to this, and a mortgage broker may or may not end up having you charge this, because a mortgage broker in many cases can get rebates or cashbacks and stuff like that as well, which a lot of people don't talk about. Now, I'm not going to go into the details here, but I'll just look at the charts real quickly. Lowest rates on 95% 2-year fixed rate mortgages. Again, the percentages are not wildly off of those of a 90%. It says 3.39%. This is with Hinckley and Rugby BS, Building Society. Nationwide Building Society 3.49%. Manhattan Bank 3.58%, and the reverted rates here, you can see Nationwide, very nice reverted rate, very just like 0.1% above the original rate. But you can see here the reverted rates are 4.24%, 3.59%, and 3.5% respectively, with the fees being £999, £1,499, and £900 respectively. Now, this article, if you're watching live right now, should be in the chat. Excuse me, not the chat, should be in our description below. If it's not in our description below, it will be in our description below very shortly. And those of you who are watching on a replay, it is 100% in the description of this video below. So if you have not been able to see that, you can now go and see that, because basically you might want to go and check out that information for yourself. So guys, this is what we do. We share this value in order to help you move further, faster in your property investing journey. Now, I've got another article, but I'm also mindful that you guys might actually want me to solve a Rubik's Cube. And I'm also mindful that you guys have questions, and I'm also mindful that we've got some more stuff to go through. So I'm going to leave the next article unless you guys want it. If you want the news, let me know in the chat. Just write the word news. But we're going to go straight into opening up. We won't open the phone lines today, but we'll definitely open up the chat for questions. So guys, what are your property challenges? What property challenges are you facing? If you have specific questions, feel free to throw them into the live chat that we have on the screen, or side by side with that. If you're watching on a replay, feel free to let us know your property questions in the comments below. I'm also going to jump into a few other things. Also, I got Rex in the chat. Rex came real quick to the cavalry. I love that. Rex wants the news. Rex wants to know exactly what's going on in the marketplace. He wants to know what Samuel Ikhinmwin is reading and what is basically being used as Samuel Ikhinmwin's fulcrum, should I say, excuse me, in order to move further, faster in his own property investing journey. So Rex does say news. All right, Rex, with that in mind, let's jump into the next article. Might not be able to spend too much time in there, but definitely let's jump into it and see if there's any other value for you on this next article before we jump into a few of the other things on tonight's show. So loading up the article, this is an article from This Is Money. Let me get my browser up so I can definitely play with this website and speak with you guys at the same time. All right, so This Is Money released this article on June 12th, Saturday, June 12th. This is actually from earlier on this week. This was on the 9th of June, excuse me, on Thursday. So it says, would you be a home booster? New firm offer to help parents remortgage to get their first time buyer children on the housing ladder. Now, what I want you guys to understand is this news article has to be read in tandem with what we've just read. So what we've just read is an article which is basically saying there's an all-time high in terms of offerings from mortgage lenders for people to get 90% or 95% first time buyer mortgages. Okay, now why is this relevant? Well, the reason it's relevant is if we flip over to this article, which was actually published on the 9th of June, which was just 3 days ago, what they're basically saying here is that as a company is actually set up, and I'm going to go into the article a little bit, but it says a company has actually been set up to help people. This firm has been created to actually help people set up their children through remortgaging to actually buy property. But we're going to go through it and you guys will see. Tembo Brokers, an interest-only mortgage, Tembo brokers an interest-only mortgage on parents' home to boost deposit. Two first-time buyers say it will help them escape the rental trap. As with any mortgage, there are risks and the loan must be repaid if the parent sells the home. Parents should be sure an interest-only remortgage is the right choice for them. Now let's keep going deeper. Now, the reason they're making that statement, parents should be sure that an interest-only is the right mortgage for them, is because if you take an interest-only mortgage, okay, and some people may not know this, you're not paying down the capital, okay? So I'll give you a quick example because I think that will help you guys. And if you don't want the example, that's fine. But I think everyone will probably need the example who doesn't understand this. If you buy a house for £100,000, okay? So let's say you've bought a house for £100,000. But you decide to take an interest-only mortgage, okay? What that means is if that is a 10-year mortgage, a 15-year mortgage, even a 30-year mortgage, for the 10 years, 20 years, 15 years, or 30 years, however long it is, you're only making interest payments. You're only paying the interest. So what does that mean? Well, typically it means you're not paying that much each month or each year. So your mortgage payments will be quite low. And lots of people love that because, most people think about today and don't think about tomorrow, which is really the wrong way to think, especially as a property investor, which again, we're going to come on to in a moment. But because most people think short term in their property investment journey, they will get into a property deal because, I'm only having to pay £200 a month for this £100,000 worth of property. But what they don't realize is because you're only doing that for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, in 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years, when that mortgage product is up, they are going to want the full £100,000 in order to now remove their charge or remove their hold from your property. Okay. Now, why is this important? No, let me answer a better question than why is this important? How real can this get? Okay, I'm going to answer that question. How real can this get? I'm going to tell you how real this can get. In 2016, my wife and I went on a property training course, a 3-day residential property training course. And whilst we were on this course, we met a lady, okay? And this lady, elderly lady, more senior lady. And when we met this lady, she said to me and my wife, I asked her, I said, hi, introduce myself. I'm Samuel. We got talking. And I said to her, what brings you to this course? What is it that is the reason you decided to come and attend this course? And she said to me something powerful. She says her husband and her own 10 properties, and every single one of them right now are about to, in August, I think it was August of that year. And I think we were in August of 2016. So maybe it was November, December. It was sometime soon. But basically what she said was, her husband and her have owned 10 properties, and all of those properties were on 10-year interest-only mortgages. And in about 2 to 3 months, all of those mortgages are going to expire. When those mortgages expire, they don't have the money to own the 10 properties, to pay off the proverbial, in this example, 100K for each of those properties, which would be, obviously, if it was 100K for 10 properties, it would be £1 million. But they didn't have the capital to pay for those properties. And as a result, she wanted to know what to do. All right. So when you ask the question, how real can this get? Guys, this can get very, very real. Okay. This can get very, very real. There are many people who are in a situation and predicament because they didn't think far enough ahead in terms of what could happen. And it's all fair and well paying £200 for 10 properties, which is only £2,000 a month, and having tenants in and generating a revenue or, et cetera, et cetera. But in 10 years, what are you going to do then? Especially because this particular woman, I know she bought those properties 10 years prior to be her retirement, assuming that that's going to be her retirement. That's going to bring in an income when she retires. But look, if she has to raise £1 million, for example, to pay off those mortgages, then that's not much of a retirement. If anything, that's a stress and a drama. And that's the reason she was paying three somewhat £1,000 to be on that course to learn what she needed to do. So I want you guys to be mindful of that. Let's keep going. It says a new company will advise parents and grandparents to remortgaging homes to help children onto the housing ladder. It goes on to say, Tembo, which describes itself as a family lending platform, enables first-time buyers to get on the housing ladder by brokering a small interest-only mortgage on their parents' or another family member or friend's home. It goes, the money from the benefactor, which Tembo refers to as the home booster, is then put towards the child's mortgage deposit, allowing them to buy their first property. However, this route to home ownership comes with risks, as we explain below. Now, guys, listen, the risks of this are probably more important than the benefits of this. And this is why it's very, very important when you look at things like this, these opportunities, schemes, etc., to really know what you're doing, or at least have a coach or someone who can inform you on the real issues that could befall you if you go down this route. But anyway, let's keep going. It says Tembo says it offers a way for parents who are not able to give their children a cash lump sum towards their deposit to help them buy a home. The amount of equity they release and the terms of the mortgage are dependent on how much they wish to gift to their child. By enlarging the first-time buyers excuse me, by enlarging the first-time buyer's deposit, their parents will also be giving them access to lower interest rates on their mortgage, as I explained earlier about what interest-only mortgages are. It goes on to say, for example, the typical 5-year fixed interest rate for someone with a 5% deposit is currently 4.07%, according to financial information service Moneyfacts, which is similar to what we just read, while a borrower with a 40% deposit would pay just 1.8%. Okay, so again, things to think about. It goes on to say, there's a case study in there, but let me keep going. However, there are risks. As with any mortgage, the parents' home could be repossessed if they do not keep up repayments, and if the parents want to move, they will need to repay the loan from the proceeds of the sale. Parents will need to pay interest on the new loan every month, but Tembo says many buyers are offering to cover these costs themselves along with the repayments on their own mortgage. Now, why will borrowers, you got to ask yourself, okay, it says many buyers are offering to cover these costs themselves along with the repayments on their own mortgage. Why are buyers saying they're going to actually pay for both as well as the repayments on their own mortgage? Because they know that that's where the biggest liability is, and if they don't do that, that's where the risk of repossession comes in. So just keep that in mind. It goes on to say it will recommend that family members take out mortgages where the balance doesn't have to be paid off until either the property is sold or the family member actually passes away. Now, one of the big risks of this, okay, is the simple fact that, like we said earlier, people's homes can be repossessed, okay? So I want you to think about this. People's homes could be repossessed if they don't keep up with these payments. Yes, someone might say, but that's the simple case with every mortgage. No, not exactly the same, because not everyone has a interest-only mortgage. And not everyone who has an interest-only mortgage up until now is going to have an interest-only mortgage on their residential dwelling, okay? And this is very important to think about, because if you are buying a house effectively or gifting a deposit effectively for your child, and your child is now going to entertain or engage with an interest-only mortgage, you have to understand that they're now gonna, again, similar to the lady I shared about in the story, they're now gonna get to a stage where it's in 15 years, 10 years, 20 years, where that mortgage's product is up, but they're still expected to pay that money. Okay, so how are you going to manage that? And this is something you need to think about. So Rex, we did it for you. That was the second news article. So I hope you guys have got value from that. I'm jumping into the chat. I can see a whole bunch of chat comments. Guys, like I said before, hit that like button if you haven't already. Side by side with that, press subscribe if you are not subscribed to the channel. We got a subscription goal. We want to hit 300. We want to hit 3,000 subscribers. Yes, we actually do want to hit 300,000 subscribers at some point. But for now, the current goal is 3,000 subscribers. If you want to join us to achieve that goal, feel free to hit subscribe and let someone else know also. And then side by side with that, always, why don't you hit the bell notification so you can stay up to date with every single time we go live as well. Now, whoo, that's a lot of content. We got the questions coming in already. Guys, have you got, Rex says, thanks Samuel, you're welcome Rex, anytime. Have you guys got property challenges you'd like us to tackle? I can see questions coming in already. I got a question from Yogesh. I know I had a question from Mandy earlier, which I'm going to touch on in a moment also. Let me talk to you guys about our key resource before we jump into that. Happy to definitely do that. If we talk about the key resource real quickly, that will mean I don't have to think about it for later on, but I know that there are a number of you guys who are really keen on developing in your property investing journey. So our key resource may be of extreme value to you. So if you have not heard about this resource right here, I want to encourage you to go and get this. This is the 7 best books for your property investing journey. In this book list, what I do is I break down the 7 books that I think every single property investor, whether you're very experienced or whether you're starting from the beginning, should have read or should be reading. And side by side with that, I also give you guys access to go and get them on Audible. If you want them on Audible, absolutely free. You can get at least one of them absolutely free with a free 30-day trial, which you can even cancel before the end of the 30 days and keep the audiobook even if you cancel your subscription. So right there is the link, impactproperties.co.uk/book list. I'll say that again, impactproperties.co.uk/book list. And if you guys want me to put that in the chat, just let me know and I will put that in the chat I'm sure it's in the description for those of you who are watching on the replay or those of you who are watching live with us. But that is impactproperties.co.uk/book list, where you can go and get the free book list absolutely free. Which all makes sense, hopefully. All right, but guys, like I said, that book list will basically break down to you the 7 best books for your property investing success, how you can basically navigate in the property field, how you can understand how you can automate your property journey, how you can understand to take your property journey to the next level. So guys, go get that resource. It's absolutely free and it will help you move further faster in your property investing journey. All right, now with that being said, let's jump into the content for tonight's show. 3 keys to buying property, and then we'll jump into the 2 questions that we have and any more questions that come through in order to wrap it up. So I hope you guys have got your pens, hope you guys have got your papers, hope you guys are ready to go. Those of you who are like me, technology based, hope you guys have got your iPads, notepads, styluses, whichever one it is. I hope you guys are actually ready to go. So today, internet show, I'm going to be talking with you guys. I'm going to be sharing with you guys 3 keys to buying property. Now, these are not keys that I see many people talk about. Reason being is they're not keys that are glamorous. They're not keys that people think, oh, you know, if I talk about that, more people will follow me. These are the actual keys that people don't speak about, but they're very, very necessary. And the problem with not speaking about them, with them being so necessary, is the simple fact that it leaves people in a predicament where they hit a roadblock very quickly saying, oh, but I didn't know about this or I didn't know about that. And that's what allows a lot of people to revert out of their property investing success. The first one is you have to know your numbers. Okay. The first key to buying property is knowing your numbers. Okay. Now, again, I spoke earlier about, you know, my background being an educator, working in schools, teaching maths, A-level maths, secondary maths, teaching teachers how to teach. And I shared earlier on that I very quickly learned and saw that maths, numbers is a topic that many people try to stay away from. It's a topic that many people have been force-fed fear from. Now, the reason why this is so important is if you understand that, then you equally simply start to understand, oh, so this is why so few coaches or educators or property people, like, you can go and watch so many property videos on YouTube or on all of these platforms. You can go and pay for certain people's property training courses, and in many cases they will not talk to you about numbers. They will not share with you, this is how you have to look at the numbers, this is what the numbers are. Now, for some of us, we're going to say, oh, I don't want to know the numbers because we're afraid of numbers. But what we have to understand is all we need is a good teacher, okay, who can share the numbers with us in a way where we can actually understand them, because you do need to understand the numbers. Okay, now let me break it down like this. If you want to make money, okay, money relates to numbers. Okay, so if you want to make money, if you want to build wealth, then you need to become at least comfortable with numbers. You don't have to know Pythagoras theorem. You don't have to know trigonometry. You don't have to know anything in depth. You don't have to know Euclid's formula. It's not about knowing, you know, detailed algorithms of maths, but it is about knowing the basic mathematics. And like I said, any good teacher, any good coach, any good trainer, any good mentor would show you what the numbers are, which are important for you to know in order for you to move further faster in your property investing journey. So the first key of the 3 keys I wanted to share with you guys on tonight's show for you to buy property is to know the numbers. Okay, know and understand the numbers. Okay, we've just been speaking throughout these news articles about 90% mortgages, 95% mortgages. It's important to know the numbers. If you go and get a 95% mortgage, but you don't know that you're buying a property in an area which has a 2% appreciation of capital value over a year, then, you know, in 3 years' time, that property may be, based on the statistics, based on the history, may only have increased in value by around 6% if all things are being equal compared to its historic value. Now, the problem with that is if you are buying a property with a 95% mortgage and you're only getting 2% value increase per year, by the time your mortgage is up for refinancing or mortgage product is done or you're ready to sell and move on, you may not have accumulated enough equity to actually sell and get out of that transaction. And that's how people end up in what we call negative equity. Now, guys, if you would like me to create a video all about negative equity, I'm happy to do it. And that's one of the ways that we buy properties, because we meet people who have negative equity, and it creates a great scenario for us to negotiate and get into the deal in a great way. So guys, let me know, make a video on negative equity. Let me know in the chat if that's what you're interested in. But it's something I've been speaking about for quite a while, because it's a key area where you can create option agreements, lease option agreements. And again, for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about when I say option agreements or when I say lease option agreements, what you probably need to do is go to the website sourcingblueprint.com and go and get yourself a free copy of this resource right here, 30 ways in 30 days. This is a resource I created where I break down multiple ways to generate revenue using property as a vehicle. So if you haven't got this resource, you can go, the team have told me that we have got these for free. Again, you can go and get this resource absolutely free. All you do is pay for the shipping, which is around £7.95. But you can go and get this from the link sourcingblueprint.com. The ebook there is absolutely free. And straight after you get the ebook, there's usually an offer for you to get this video program for free, and all you do is pay for shipping. Now, if you go there and it gives you the option, I don't know if it will currently, but if it gives you the option to get free training programs for free, the free training programs it will give you will be the 30 ways in 30 days, where I break down 30 different strategies you can use to make money using property as a vehicle. It will also give you the Team 10 resource, which is the resource where I break down the 10 key players you need to build a successful property power team. And then the third one it will give you is the Property Investors A to Z of terms, which breaks down from the letter A to the letter Z every single term that we could fit in one per letter in terms of property, to help you guys not be a novice when you're having property conversations with people. So if you're interested in that, go to the link sourcingblueprint.com and you can get that absolutely free. You're just paying the shipping. So seven, call it £8 shipping for it to be internationally shipped from wherever they produce them for us and shipped to you. Now, if you're interested in that, just write the word interested in the chat and we can throw the link in the chat. Now, let's keep going. So the first key is know the numbers. Okay, you have to know the numbers. If you know the numbers, it puts you in a better position than 95% of the people who are trying to invest in property. I say it all the time. I'll say it again. There is a difference between property ownership and property investment. What many people do in our country is they own property. Someone might own 8 properties, 9 properties, 12 properties, but not be an investor because they don't really know what they are doing. Okay, so you have to be someone who understands exactly what you're doing. Mandy, I've got a comment from you, but I don't know what you mean. Do you mean no idea? I think you mean no idea. But let me know what you mean no idea about, so I can elaborate on that. But guys, like I was saying, for so many people in the UK, they buy property. Okay, they are property owners, not property investors. Having 8 properties does not make you a property investor. Okay, and I want you to understand that, guys. Having 10 properties, 12 properties, there is no number of properties that makes you a property investor. You could become a property buyer. Okay, and I'll give you a clear example because I think some of you are going to get value when I explain this. There are people out there who buy cups. Okay, and when you buy the cups and you use the cups. Okay, now let me tell you something. You're not going to use 100 cups at once. You're not going to use 6 cups at once, but yet we still buy a pack of cups. We still buy 6 at a time, 5 at a time, 4 at a time. We buy cups in a pack. Now, you may buy a pack of cups and only use 1 cup at a time. Okay, just like properties, you may buy 6 properties but only use 1 at a time. And I don't mean buy 6 properties at once. Okay, I mean buy 1 at a time, etc., etc. But the point is, you may own 6 properties, just like someone may own 6 cups, and you may only use one cup. Okay, just the same way that you can only drink out of 1 cup at a time, you may only live in 1 property, and then the other 5 properties may have residents or tenants inside of them, just like you have cups in the shelf, okay, who get used by your guests, who get used by your family. Okay, so there's 6 cups. Okay, 1 you use, 5 that other people use, but they're all your cups. Okay, so hopefully that explains and makes a lot of sense. Now, what I want to do is go deeper. The fact you own 6 cups, the fact that you use 1 cup, the fact that you have other people using other cups does not mean that you are a cup trader. It doesn't mean that you buy cups for £5. okay, and find a way to generate revenue, serious revenue off these cups by selling them or trading them for £7, as an example. Now, that's one strategy in the property world we call flipping, okay? We call flipping. So to flip is to buy something to improve its value. Sometimes you don't have to do anything to improve its value if you buy it at the right price, and then to sell it on and to generate that revenue above. Again, that's one of the strategies that we actually talk about in the 30 Ways in 30 Days trading program. So again, if you haven't got this, go get this at sourcingblueprint.com. Again, if you're interested, just write the word interested in the chat and we can throw the link into the chat for that. Now, what I want you guys to understand is owning property, being a property owner, doesn't make you a property investor. And this is something very important for us to understand. And this is why the first key that I want to share with you guys of the 3 keys to buying property is knowing the numbers. The moment you know the numbers and understand the numbers, you put yourself in a highly more advantaged position to actually do property investing than many other people. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind. All right, let's jump into the second key. Second key is rates. Okay, now a friend of mine, he's actually a mortgage broker. He said this to me once before, and I'm going to share it with you, just because it was good knowledge. It was good knowledge, and it really helped me at the time, and it's helped me ever since. And that statement was, Samuel, don't rate watch. Okay, and I want to say that to you as well. Okay, excuse me, whoever you are. Family, don't rate watch. Friend, don't rate watch. Okay, follower, don't rate watch. Viewer, don't rate watch. Okay, whether you're watching this live viewer, don't rate watch. If you're watching this on replay viewer, don't rate watch. Okay, what many people do in property, okay, is they rate watch. Okay, and what do I mean by rate watching? Well, look at what we just did. We just looked at an article, and in that article, we saw all the different rates being offered by all these different people. And what most people do is they go for the cheapest rate. Now, the funniest thing is that one of the things I really appreciate is the fact that so many people who watch our content are people that have already invested in property, people that own numerous properties. So you guys who own numerous properties who are watching this, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. Do you generally go for the cheapest rate? Okay, if you do, just write the letter yes. Why? Okay, and guys, there's no embarrassment, no shame. We're a family on this channel. The reason we do this live is to help everybody grow. If you usually look for the cheapest rate, just write the letter Y or yes in the chat so I know that I'm not crazy. Okay, now I've been coaching people for years. I've been supporting people, teaching people property investment for years. So I know the answers yes. I know most people who go to get a mortgage are looking for the lowest rate. Okay, now let me tell you something. In 2017, I was offered 3 mortgage products, okay? And the reason I'm telling you this is because I want you to understand how powerful it is and how the advice that the broker gave me, who's a friend of mine before being a broker, the advice he gave me was so powerful, it helped me make the right decision in 2017 on a specific purchase. But the gentleman said to me in 2017, Samuel, don't rate watch. He said, Samuel, the rate at which you buy properties, you know, your goal, your plans in terms of your property investing, you should not rate watch. The rates are not going to make much of a difference to you. That was kind of his rationale to me, and very powerful words. I really appreciate those words that were shared with me. Now, in 2017, one specific property I was buying, I was given 3 mortgage offers from the broker I was using. The broker said to me, you can go with Nationwide. They're going to offer you I think it was 2.9% interest rate. You can go with Virgin Money. They're going to offer you a 1.9% mortgage rate. You can go with NatWest. They're going to offer you a 2.4% mortgage rate. Okay, if you're taking notes, just write that stuff down. You guys will know exactly what I'm talking about in a moment. Okay, and I've got the comments here. I got Rex in the chat who says yes. Okay, Rex would typically look for the cheapest rate. Okay, and I've got Mandy in the chat as well who says I would look for the cheapest. Okay, and that makes sense, guys. People generally would look for the cheapest, especially if this is the largest acquisition, if this is the largest purchase you've ever made. Most people obviously would look for the cheapest, but what they don't realize is the cheapest is not always the best. Okay, and that's something I can say 100 times. I remember just when I was about to get married, I spoke to one of my friends. He had been married for about 7-8 years at the time, and I said to him, look, we're trying to arrange the caterers and all of this stuff, you know, and these caterers came in with a real good price, and he said to me, look, this is your wedding day, you know. And for those of you who follow me on Facebook, you know that on the 9th of June, which was on Thursday, my wife and I celebrated 9 years of being married. So again, my anniversary was actually this week. But it's funny because I remember this friend saying to me, he said, Samuel, listen, guys, the amount of advice, see, and this is why I do this, guys, because advice that was given to me, books that I read, courses I went on, coaches I've had, training that has helped me, has radically changed my life, allowed me to skip 70 years of drama, you know, is the stuff I try to share with you guys, because I want you to skip the years of drama as well. Now, friend says to me, look, Samuel, I get what you're saying about these caterers. I get what you're saying about all that. He says, but Samuel, you're only going to get married once. He goes, your wedding day is supposed to be one of the best days of your life. He was like, listen, do you really want to go with the cheapest? That's what he said to me. He said, do you really want to go with the cheapest? Now, that was a lesson that day, which I can now extrapolate and add on to what I'm sharing with you guys. So in 2017, one of the properties I'm about to purchase, broker says to me, again, not the broker on the deal, but a broker who's a friend of mine, says to me, Samuel, don't rate watch. Okay, so I want you to write that down. Write your name down and then write don't rate watch. He says, Samuel, don't rate watch. So I say, okay, cool. You know, what do you mean? And he breaks it down. He says, listen, you know, because of your long-term plans in property, 1% here, 1% there is not going to make a difference. So then the mortgage broker who I was working with on the deal, he says to me, these are the three options: NatWest, Nationwide, and Virgin Money. Virgin Money's 1.99%. Now, from what I've heard in the comments, most people in the comments would be saying, I'm taking that Virgin Money, that 1.99%, I'm taking that Virgin Money offer. I didn't take the Virgin Money offer. The reason I didn't take the Virgin Money offer is, one, because I didn't want to rate watch, because my friend told me not to rate watch. But two, which is quite deeper, because of my long-term goals. And guys, anyone who's been following me for a while, anyone who's engaged with me for a while, you know how powerfully I think about long-term. And that's even going to come in later on as we talk about the 3 keys to buy properties. Now, don't rate watch is definitely a key to buy property. But let me go into this so you guys get the value. So, because my long-term plan with that specific property I was buying in 2017 was to do a specific kind of rental with it, I then said to the broker who was actually working on that transaction for me, I said to him, let me know what each of these lenders are like if, for example, I was to try to change this product in 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, 24 months in order to do this specific kind of rental with the property. Okay, so I said that to the broker. The broker said, okay, cool, I'll get that done and I'll come back to you. So he went to get that done. Okay, he came back to me a couple of days later and he says to me, look, Samuel, here's the feedback. If you ask Virgin Money for that amendment to your policy in 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, 24 months, etc., they are going to send you basically a box full of papers for you to read through, terms and conditions for you to read through and sign, and they may not even do it for you. Okay, they may not even allow you to do what you want to do long term. Please hear this, guys, because this is very powerful. He said NatWest on the other hand, who were the second cheapest. Okay, I believe they were the second cheapest. Maybe I was wrong. I think NatWest came in around 2.9%. So NatWest might have been the most expensive. Nationwide was the middle at 2.4%, and then Virgin Money, I remember like it was yesterday, was 1.9%. And obviously we usually remember the cheapest. That's just the way life is. Or the most expensive, which I just muddled up. But so he shares with me NatWest on the other hand, who I think was the most expensive, 2.9% on that particular transaction, might I say, because guys, this is not me tarnishing NatWest. But he goes, NatWest would do this for you. All you'd have to do is phone them and then make the amendment. So by making a phone call, the amendment would be made. It was the easiest one to go with, NatWest. Okay. Yes, they were the most expensive at that time, but they were the easiest to convert that mortgage into what I wanted it for long term. Okay. Nationwide, on the other hand, what he said to me is Nationwide will send you a letter. Basically, you can have a phone call, they'll send you a letter, you sign the letter, and they increase your interest rate by 1%, and they'll give it to you as well. Okay, so basically what he said to me is Virgin Money will be the hardest in that predicament to get your long-term goal occurring. So if it will be the hardest, it will probably take the longest. I want you guys to bear that in mind, okay? NatWest would be the easiest. Pick up the phone, just let them know, hey, I'm Samuel, I'd like to change the mortgage product, make this slight amendment, please. They would say yes. At the end of the phone call, it will be done. Nationwide would add 1%, send you a letter and ask you to sign it. Okay. So at that point, my head was convinced. I was going with the most expensive. I was going with NatWest. Okay. And then I did what I do. Okay. Obviously, Those of you who've been following me for a while, you know I'm very much into reading my Bible. I'm very much into my faith. So I prayed about it. Okay, I prayed about it. And when I prayed about it, I felt very, very strongly that I should go with Nationwide. And as a result, I went with Nationwide. Now, lo and behold, this week or 2 weeks ago, actually, early June, about 2 weeks ago, we received a letter because 2 weeks ago, we actually acted out what we wanted to do on that property when we got the mortgage product in 2017, and we got a letter. Those of you who follow me on Instagram, if you don't follow us on Instagram, go and follow us on Instagram at Impact Properties London. If you do not know how to follow us on Instagram, if you're not on Instagram, then that's fine. I'm not asking you to make an account just to follow us on Instagram. But if you do follow us on Instagram, or if you are on Instagram and you're not following us, again, link in the description, whether you're live with us or whether you're on YouTube, you can see the Instagram post I posted today on our Instagram feed, which shows I actually took a picture of a portion of the letter that was sent to us recently by Nationwide. Okay, now the reason I'm saying this is because I want you to understand the cheapest is not always the right way to go. So do not rate watch. Okay, instead of watching the rates, ask yourself, what am I trying to achieve with this property long term? How easy will it be? How simple will it be long term in order for me to get what I'm trying to achieve done? And after you answer that question, then look with that lens, then look with that view, then look with those goggles, binoculars, glasses, telescope, with that telescope at the offers, at the products. Okay, don't rate watch. So that's key number 2 to buying property, how to buy property more effectively. Guys, if you guys are getting value, I've got one more key to share with you. If you are getting value on the show today, let me know. Hit the like button if you haven't hit like already. Side by side with that, just write the word value in the chat. And in a moment, we'll be coming on to those questions. So guys, that was key number 1, know your numbers. We also just now shared key number 2, which was all about rates, don't rate watch. Key number 3, okay? Key number 3 is all about terms, okay? For key number 3, what I want to share with you guys is this. Think long term. Okay, that can be one of my mantras. Okay, that could probably be a Samuel Ikhinmwin mantra. You gotta think long term. Why would a Samuel Ikhinmwin mantra be with an American accent? I don't know, guys. If you've got friends from over the pond who are in America, let them know that Samuel Ikhinmwin is sharing the love by sharing this video. Oh my gosh, that was a plug. All right, guys. But anyway, the point I'm making is a Samuel Ikhinmwin mantra can be think long term. Okay, because you have to think long term in order to succeed in property. The reason I say that is because property is not like buying cups. Okay, hashtag our last example. The reason I say that is because the trade of most things occurs fairly swiftly, whereas the trade of property takes a lot longer to occur. Not only does it take longer to actually buy a property than it does to buy a cup, but it also takes longer to transact in property. You know, mortgages are 30 years long, whereas you can buy a car and have a HP contract for 3 years, 5 years. Hire, purchase, lease. You can lease a car. You can rent a car for a day. You know, you see, property is a long-term asset. So because of that, it makes more sense to think long-term when you deal with property. What many people do is they think short-term with property, and from thinking short-term with property, they end up in a space where they don't really know what they're doing. And as a result, when things really, you know, proverbially hit the fan, they look back and say, well, why did that happen? Well, it happened because you didn't think long term. You didn't think outside of the next 3 years, 2 years, 4 years. And let me say this, guys, if you're going to go and pick up a 25-year mortgage, don't you think you should ask yourself, what's my life going to look like in 25 years? In 25 years from now, where does this house sit in my asset class? What should this house be doing for me in 25 years from now? And with those kind of key questions, you can put yourself in a key position to make things happen. So they're the 3 keys I wanted to share with you guys today on today's show, episode 61, 3 keys to buying property. Key number 1, know your numbers. Know and understand the numbers. It is when you know and understand the numbers that you can take full advantage of the property opportunity in front of you, and you can win long term, not just short term. Key number 2, rates. Don't be a rate watcher. So many people, just like we shared earlier on in the show, will be looking at the rates to find the cheapest rate. Guys, let me tell you something. If the cheapest rate, like Virgin Money in the example I gave, does not fit the kind of scenario you're trying to take that property into, guys, I implore you, please stay away from the cheapest rate. Okay, and this is not a blanket statement. I'm not just saying whenever you see mortgage products, always stay away from the cheapest rate. No, what I'm saying is understand what you're trying to achieve, understand what that looks like, understand what is going to have to happen with that product, and then choose the product appropriately. And this is one of the reasons why I encourage people to get a broker as well. Another reason I encourage people to work with brokers is because brokers can hear that story. Brokers are going to be open to hearing your long-term plan for you to say, well, in 4 years, in 6 months, in 8 years, as long as you're speaking to the right broker, I plan to do X, Y, Z. And because I plan to do X, Y, Z, I need this product to be able to work and not penalize me for it, for example. The third and final, it doesn't have to be final. If you guys want an extra one, just write the word bonus in the chat because we love giving extra value on the channel. But the third one that I shared was think long term. Okay, think long term is the third key that I want to share with you guys, because if you are serious about buying property, you're going to be buying an asset that is going to last for 30 years in terms of its mortgage product, let alone how long it may be in your family, in your generations, and in your family tree. So when you understand that, you should be asking yourself, long term, what do I want to get out of this? Long term, where would this property sit in my portfolio? Long term, what would this property be doing for me, for my children, etc., etc. So guys, think long term. Now, with all of that being said, I want to say a big thank you to all of those who have been rocking with us. Those of you who've let me know when you've been winning in your property journey, those of you who've jumped on the show, learned 2 or 3 things, gone back out into the real world, made things happen and come back and shared the value, we appreciate you, as well as those of you who have subscribed to the channel, as well as those of you who leave your comments. We appreciate every single comment. Let me bring the comments back on the screen. Okay, we appreciate every single one of the comments that we get every single time. And also those of you who have given us advice on how to improve the show, we appreciate you as well. Those of you who have gone to our Amazon wish list to pay it forward, those of you who have donated to the channel for our purpose built content creation studio that we've been working on, guys, we appreciate you. We've got so much love for you guys as an audience, as a community. Let's keep doing this thing. Okay, so guys, if you're interested in going to Amazon and buying us something from our Amazon wish list, links in the description. You can pay it forward that way. If you're interested in donating to the channel, yes, for those of you who don't know, we're currently building a content creation studio, which is going to be solely for the creation of way more content, way more live streams, way more videos for you guys to learn more about creative property investing. You can go to the link impactproperties.co.uk/donate and donate right there. All right, now with all of that being said, I got 2 questions that I know are in the chat. I'm going to run through the chat, go through those questions, give you guys some answers, and then straight after that, I'll go through some announcements and then we'll wrap up the show. If you've got questions and guys, you haven't put them in the chat, throw them in the chat now. Now is the time to let us know what are the property challenges you are facing. Let's go. All right, so I think the first question I had came from Mandy. There it is. Thank you, guys. So let's jump straight into that one. And then from there, we will look at the other questions. I think Yogesh gave us a question as well earlier on. So again, thank you, Yogesh, for that question. Guys, if you are getting value and you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. Let the YouTube world know this is the valuable content for Saturday night. Let's keep going. So Mandy asked the question, where do you find the property investor? Any news agents? Okay, love that. That's a powerful question. So Mandy's asking about Property Investor News Magazine. Okay, so good question. This is what I'd love for you to do, Mandy, because this is the easiest way. Send us an email. Okay, if you are interested in getting Property Investors News Magazine, just send us an email at info@impactproperties.co.uk. Hopefully that answers your question. It's very simple. We can send you a link where you can sign up to get this magazine sent to your door, okay? Because they send these to my front door. So if you're interested, let me know, Mandy. You can email the team, info@impactproperties.co.uk, and just say, hey guys, I'm interested in getting the Property Investors News Magazine. can I get a link? All right. And we will send you a link via email happily. Okay. So we're happy to do that, Mandy. Just let us know in the chat and in the email, and we'll basically work with you on that. Okay. So Mandy's answer to Mandy's question, how did she get the Property Investor News magazine? Send us an email, info@impactproperties.co.uk, and we will send you all the information you need with regards to that. And it is a good magazine. It's very solid in terms of the information it gives you and insights it shares as well. All right, so perfect first question to get us kick started. Let's jump into the other questions. Let's see what else you guys have said. Oh, guys, I thank you so much. I got Rose in the chat who says value. I've got Mandy in the chat who says value. I've got Mandy in the chat who says thank you. You're welcome, Mandy. All right, so okay, so yes, Mandy was saying earlier she has no idea when it comes to property investing. Mandy, this is why you're watching the show, and this is why we're here to help you guys build your confidence and get even better and move further faster in your property investing journey. All right, so my man Yogesh in the chat asked a question. Yogesh says, question please, what success, I think he means successful, and ways have you had encouraging tenants to leave before their contract period? All right, cool. The reason I laugh when I read this question from Yogesh is because what most people don't realize is when they ask me questions, 9 times out of 10, the first things that come in my mind is situations I've been in. Okay. And I love the way Yogesh asked his question because he's actually asking me in a way where it's natural for a question, for a story to kind of come up in my mind. But basically Yogesh is asking, what successful ways have we been able to encourage tenants to leave before their contract period? Now, one of the most successful ways I've been able to get tenants to leave, I don't call them tenants. Those of you who've watched enough of my content, you'll know I call them residents. So it's weird when I say tenants, but again, I know that's the language we use. But one of the most successful ways I've been able to get residents and tenants to move on before the end of their contract, one of the key ways is basically by engaging with their sponsor or their guarantor. Okay, now 9 times out of 10, if somebody is renting a property that I either own or I control, or that our company owns or our company controls, 9 times out of 10 that person is giving us the details of a guarantor. And a lot of the time what we do is engage with that guarantor, and what we find at times is the tenant themselves, the resident themselves, because they live in a property that you control or you own, a lot of the times it may be difficult for some people to have those conversations and say to them, look, I need you to leave, specifically because they don't want to be looked at in a negative manner if they ended up in court. That's one. And then secondarily, they don't want to be in a position where the person that says, oh, you've asked me to move, you tried to kick me out. They don't want to create a negative stigma between the person and the landlord or yourself. So one of the key things you can do if you have got guarantor information is go to the guarantor and make the guarantor aware, hey, Mr. Guarantor, your person that you're guaranteeing unfortunately hasn't been paying the rent, or unfortunately has been, disorderly, or unfortunately has been really messy, or whatever your thing is. And based on that, we're planning to actually evict them. Now, if we do evict them and go through the appropriate channels, the problem is they may end up with a CCJ on their name. They may end up, blacklisted, barred. They may end up in a number of different negative predicaments. And what we want to do is we want to hopefully protect them from that. We're not trying to tarnish anyone's name. We're just trying to run a property business. So because of that, what we would like you to do is maybe discuss with them their alternative options. One of those options might be for them to actually leave right now whilst I can still write them a reasonable reference, or it might be for them to stay if they really want to stay. But if they do stay, just bear in mind, these could be some of the ramifications. So I'll share that with you, Yogesh, as one of the ways that I've used. Yogesh, if you want to go deeper, I think you still are owed actually a coaching call, and I think the team sent you out a link for you to book that coaching call absolutely free. If you are still owed that coaching call, I have so many coaching calls I can't even remember, but if you are still owed that coaching call and you do still have that link, or you found the link, use the link, book the coaching call, and we can strategize through that with you on a one-to-one basis. Or if you aren't owed that coaching call anymore, feel free to use our link again in the description. I think that one is impactproperties.co.uk/booking. book a coaching call, book a strategy call. Yes, guys, there's a fee associated. We value everyone's time. But yeah, book a coaching call, book a strategy call, depending on how much time you need and what you really want to achieve. And let's go through that, Yogesh, and see how we can get you some solutions in that specific scenario. So hopefully that's of value, and hopefully that answers Yogesh's question. Yogesh, you know the drill. Let us know in the chat how many stars you will give to that answer for that question. Now, Yogesh again in the chat says, video for negative equity, how to find people in these situations and how to avoid being one of them. That is powerful. That is powerful. The way Yogesh wrote that, it felt to me like it was actually the YouTube video title all in one. How to avoid being one of them, and how to find people in this situation. Negative equity. You know what? Powerful, Yogesh. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, we'll definitely look into it. It's definitely one I'll speak to the team about. And also, Yogesh, both you and Rex have asked us about a video. I believe it was Rex, but I believe Yogesh, and I believe it was Rex. I'm gonna say Rex because I believe it was him. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I believe both Yogesh and Rex have asked us to do a video on our best property apps. Our new editor is in town. Our new editor has been working on things. This Monday, we drop a very, very powerful video. Oh my gosh. On Monday, there's going to be a very powerful video dropping. If you guys are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button so you can make sure you know exactly when that video is dropped on Monday. And then next Monday, which I believe might be my birthday, I think. But the Monday after, we are then, so 2 Mondays from today, we're going to be dropping another power bomb video, and that will be the best property apps for you and your property investment journey. So guys, we finally got there. It's 2 weeks away, 14 days away from you guys getting the video you asked for, the best property apps for you as a property investor. That's coming in about 2 weeks. And like I said, on Monday coming, we got a power bomb of a video that's going to be shared. And that's the kind of content I really love making, the one that we're going to actually release on Monday, because it goes deeper. It goes into the zone where we need to be in order to really succeed in property. So Yogesh, thank you for your comment and much appreciated. All right, let me jump down further. Let me see what other comments we've got. If we've got other questions, guys, have you got questions that you need to be answered? Have you got property questions that you need to be answered? Yogesh says, thanks, appreciate it. Yes, still owed a coaching call, 5 stars for the answer. Use the link, Yogesh. Use the link, grab your coaching call. And if you've got a tenant that you need to move out, let's use that time. Let's get that solved for you in order to move faster. Rex says, yes, he did ask about the property apps video. Great memory. Thank you again, Rex. You're most welcome. This is what we do. Yogesh says, so glad his comments make me laugh. Guys, look, you know me, I'm a jovial person, love to love. So, it's all good to have jovial comments in the chat, which help us move further faster in our property investing journey. All right, guys, any more questions? Let me know if there are any more questions. You guys didn't ask, so you didn't see me solve the Rubik's Cube. That's all good. I don't mind. I'm happy to go and solve it with my wife and family. But it's all good. Are there any more questions, guys? Any more questions in the chat? If there are no more questions in the chat, you know what time it is. It's that time for me to let you know that if you haven't gone and seen our latest video where I break down what your estate agent won't actually tell you, go watch that video right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an extreme pleasure rocking with you on tonight's live show, and it's that time for me to love you and leave you, and as I usually say, happy investing, and I'll see you on the next one.